أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كتاب أنزل الله إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب وقال جل وعلا ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر وقال عز وجل أفلا يتدبرون القرآن أم على قلوب أقفالها وقال جل وعلا ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الكافرون ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الظالمون ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الفاسقون وقال عز وجل قل يا أهل الكتاب لستم على شيء حتى تقيموا التوراة والإنجيل وما أنزل إليكم من ربكم وقال عز وجل يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته وقال عز وجل أنزلنا إليك الذكر لتبين للناس ما نزل إليهم وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في نهاية خطبته يوم حجة الوداع فليبلغ الشاهد الغائب أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. As you know, we have talked about 2.5 out of the 5 duties that each one of us owes to Quran. Number 1, we ought to believe in Quran as it ought to be believed from the depths of our hearts, that this is the word of Allah and this is an attribute of Allah. If we have that deep belief in the hearts, then we shall hold Quran in the highest esteem. We will then think that this is the most precious thing over the earth, under the sky. Number 2, we ought to read it as it should be read. Tilawah and tartil. رتل القرآن ترتيلا and الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يتلونه حق تلاوته أولئك يؤمنون به. Then the third, you have to understand it as it ought to be understood. And the 2 main terms regarding this understanding of Quran are tazakkur bil Quran and tadabbur of Quran. I quoted the ayah فَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ إِلَيْكَ مُبَارَكٌ لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ وَلِيَتَذَكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. I have spoken in some length about tazakkur, reminding, remembering. The knowledge of Allah is in our hearts. We have the souls, the spirits, and this has come not from the clay, but from Allah. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Dust thou art, to dust returnest. It is true about our bodies. Our animal existence has come from the clay. Here the revelation and science both agree. The origin of the life on this planet is from the clay, the crust of the earth. And Quran also says, min turabin, min tinin, min tinin lazibin, min hamaim masnoon. So many words, all denoting to different forms of this clay. this teen, this mud. Anyhow, our bodies are from there. Minha khalaqnakum wa fiha nu'idukum wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra, but not our souls. Yasalunaka 'anir ruh qul ruhu min amri rabbi. And this ruh dwells in our hearts. So we have everything in our heart, but only we don't pay attention to it. Wafi anfusihim, we can show them our signs in their own nafs. Sanurihim ayatina fil afaqi wa fi anfusihim hatta yatabayyana lahum annahu al-haqq. Fi anfusihim wa fi anfusikum afala tubsirun. Within your own selves there are the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't you see? We have no time to see. We are awfully busy. We are possessed by the world of matter. We have been lost. काफिर की ये पहचान के आफाक में गुम है, lost. And मोमिन की ये पहचान के गुम उसमें है आफाक. Only if you read Quran, if you can understand, it is as if something will come up from the depths of your own unconscious or subconscious mind. It will come up, rise to the surface of the conscious level of your mind. And this is tazakkur. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. We have made this Quran very easy, very easy, very easy for tazakkur. So is there anyone who is ready to have that tazakkur? If yes, they will have to make some effort, they will have to devote some time. They will have to learn Arabic. Anyhow, let me proceed further. What is tadabbur? To ponder deep into the meanings of Quran. Nobody can reach the depth. It's fathomless. It has no bottom. Endless. This is attribute of Allah. Allah's person as well as attributes are both absolute, without any limits. So you can spend whole of your time pondering deep, diving deep into the meanings of the Quran. For the benefit of the Urdu-speaking people, let me quote Iqbal. Quran mein ho gauta zan, ay marde Musalman. You have to dive deep into the meanings, into the ocean of the meanings of Quran. Why? Quran claims, I am the guidance for all humanity for all times to come. Hudan lin-nas, hudan lil-muttaqin, alladhina yu'minuna bil-ghayb wa yuqimuna as-salata wa mimma razaqnahum yunfiqun. Then hudan lin-nas. Now it was revealed at a particular time to a particular nation through a particular person in a particular area of this world. It has a time and space context. It was revealed 1400 years ago to an illiterate people. And the one who was chosen as the Nabi was himself an unlettered, al-Nabi al-Ummi. The nation as a whole was Ummiyin. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته. And he himself was Ummi. الذين يتبعون الرسول النبي الأمي. And it was revealed, as I told you in the first lecture, between 610 and 632, 22 years. It was all revealed in Hijaz, the mountainous region along the west coast of the Arabian Peninsula. Makkah Mukarramah is also a city of Hijaz. Medina is also a city of Hijaz. Taif is also a town of Hijaz. Tabuk is also a town of Hijaz. So all this is the area in which Quran was sent down. So it has a geographical, it has a historical background. But it was sent down as guidance for the whole of humanity, for all times to come till the end of this world. What does it mean? Quran has the guidance for the human beings of today. But it was not given in the terminology of this time. It was given in a very simple language so that the illiterate nation could also understand it. It contains the strongest philosophy and wisdom, but not in the terminology of philosophy. The philosophy is there, but not in philosophical terms. Had it been in philosophical terms, the Badus, the Bedouins of Arab couldn't understand it. It has the answers to all the questions of economics of today. Finance, economics, everything is here in Quran. If it is not there, then it is not the guidance for the whole of humanity for all times to come. It is there. But you have to dig it out. And this digging out from Quran, the guidance for every time, for the contemporary humanity, you have to dive deep into the meaning, ocean of its meanings. And for that you have to broaden your own horizon first. To give you a simple example, somebody is standing on the coast of an ocean. He wants to take some water. But he has only one bucket with him. He can take only a bucket full of water from the ocean. No more. Had he only a bowl, he could take only a bowl full of water, no more. You can take from Quran according to the capacity of your own intelligence, your own understanding. If your own mental horizon is narrow, how can you get anything from Quran? You need a wide zarf. The bucket should be broad and deep. And this bucket can be broadened and deepened by the understanding of the contemporary sciences, social as well as physical sciences. If you don't know the problems confronting humanity in the field of economics, how can you find the answers and solutions from Quran? If you don't know the problems in the field of psychology, there is a psychology, human psychology in Quran, but you have to dive deep. You have to read the contemporary psychology, be an expert in it, and then you read Quran and you'll find. You have to open your own eyes first. There might be a gem, there might be a jewel, but a child will just ignore it. He might think that it is only a piece of glass, nothing else. Only the person who knows what is a jewel and what is a pearl, only he will be able to assess the value and take it. So this tadabbur is a lifelong process, mind you. No human being can claim that he has attained the whole knowledge of Quran. He becomes a kafir if he claims it. He thinks that the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fathomable. It can be measured. The wisdom, al-hikmah. ذَلِكَ مِمَّا أَوْحَى إِلَيْكَ رَبُّكَ مِنَ الْحِكْمَةِ. This wisdom, this philosophy, this psychology, this economics, this political science. You have everything. As Imam Shafi'i says, rahimahullah, جميع العلم في القرآن لكن تقاصر عنه أفهام الرجال. The whole knowledge is there. So this tadabbur, for this tadabbur there are many conditions. For tazakkur I told you, learn this much Arabic that you don't need a translation. Remove this curtain between you and Quran, curtain of translation. This is a hindrance. You can understand, but you cannot be inspired by Quran. For that, only that much like Arabic. But for tadabbur of Quran, you must be an expert in the Arabic of the times of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ash-Shairul Jahiliyyah. That was the idiom in which Quran was revealed. You should be expert in the grammar, sarf and nahv, bayani, bayan, maani. All these sciences, they were developed to understand Quran. There was no Arabic grammar before Quran. Hazrat Ali radiyallahu ta'ala was the first person who compiled a grammar of this language. But only to make it easy for the people to understand Quran. So that Arabic, then you must know the historical, social, cultural, political background when Quran was being sent down. Then you must know the hadith, the explanation that the Prophet gave, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because as we shall discuss later on, that was his duty. لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ. It's your duty, O Muhammad, to make clear for people what has been sent down for them. Tabyin. لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ. We have sent Quran not for you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but for your people and but for the humanity at large. But you have to explain it to them. So for that, what Muhammad said, sallallahu, what his companions understood, what the Aimma, the founders of the different schools of fiqh, they understood. You must have a thorough knowledge. Then you must have at least the basic concepts of the different sciences of today. Basic, at least. Physics of today, chemistry of today, zoology of today, embryology of today, botany of today, cosmology of today, geology of today, and so on and so forth. At least the basics you should have, because Quran discusses, Quran mentions something from this field, something from this field. Some signs of Allah from the field of cosmology. Some signs of Allah from the field of embryology. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَاهُ نُطْفَةً فِي قَرَارٍ مَكِينٍ ثُمَّ خَلَقْنَا النُّطْفَةَ عَلَقَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَقَةَ مُضْغَةً فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُضْغَةَ عِظَامًا فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِظَامَ لَحْمًا ثُمَّ أَنشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَرَ فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. Only an embryologist can appreciate what Quran is saying. Only Keith Elmore, professor of Toronto, he could understand. And he could wonder, how could Quran describe these stages of embryology? 1400 years ago, no dissections, no microscopes, no study of anatomy, nothing of the sort. And so close a description. Fi zulumatin salas, three darknesses. The abdominal wall, the wall of the uterus, and then the amnion, three. And Quran saying, Fi zulumatin salas. So you should have all this. And most important of all, pure intention. Otherwise, this knowledge will bite you. As I told you in the Jummah sermon, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. If you become proud, I am so knowledgeable, well, I know that much, you are gone. In vain. Everything multiplied by a big zero. The biggest sum multiplied by zero becomes zero. Purity of intention. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Not that I want to impose myself on other people. No. Not that I want to earn some name and some fame. Worse still, I want to earn some money and wealth and gather some wealth out of my knowledge. Everything gone in vain, multiplied by zero. That has become the condition of many learned people today. Let me quote a hadith. It is included in the Mishkat, Mishkatul Masabih. يُوشِكُ أَنْ يَأْتِيَ عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٌ. I fear a time is going to come for the people. لا يبقى من الإسلام إلا اسمه ولا يبقى من القرآن إلا رسمه. Nothing will remain out of Islam except its name. And nothing will remain from Quran except its script. The script is there. Where is Quran? Masajiduhum amiratun, their mosques will be very crowded. وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِّنَ الْهُدَى, but they will be empty of guidance. Very grand mosques being built. وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِّنَ الْهُدَى. عُلَمَاؤُهُمْ شَرُّ النَّاسِ تَحْتَ دِينِ السَّمَاءِ. And their ulama will become the worst creatures under the roof of this heaven. مِنْ عِنْدِهِمْ تَخْرُجُ الْفِتْنَةُ وَفِيهِمْ تَعُودُ. From among them will come out fitna, takfir, huwa kafir. This is haram, and this is so, and this is that. All arguments dividing the ummah, exploiting the ignorance of the people, making wealth and properties. عُلَمَاؤُهُمْ شَرُّ النَّاسِ تَحْتَ أَدِيمِ السَّمَاءِ مِنْ عِنْدِهِمْ تَخْرُجُ الْفِتْنَةُ وَفِيهِمْ تَعُودُ. May Allah save us from that fate. Anyhow, tadabbur. For that tadabbur, and you please note it, we are the custodians of Quran. As I will discuss in the last heading, it's our duty given to us by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have to convey it to the humanity at large, to the whole of mankind. And among the mankind there are intellectuals also. They will not listen to your sermons. You have to pierce through the barriers of their thoughts and philosophies and false ideologies. You can't reach their hearts directly. You have to pierce through the barriers He believes in Marxism, he believes in Darwinism, he believes in Freudism, he believes in logical positivism, he believes in existentialism, he believes in materialism, and so on and so forth. You have to pierce through it. And you can't pierce through it by sermon. Sermon is beneficial for a simple man whose heart and mind are like clean slates. For such people, you need only the sincerity of purpose. If whatever you are saying to him, you are saying out of sincerity. As dil khezat, but dil rezat. It will come out of your heart and will descend on his heart. But these intellectuals, the intellectual giants, the brain trust of the society, the educated elite, they have very false notions, very false ideologies, very false concepts, and you have to pierce through them. And then you have to rise to that level. You can communicate with an intellectual person only if you are at that level. Otherwise, no line of communication can be established. You think you are, conveying and preaching, and nothing is going there. Iblag means to convey it, to bring it home to him. But if you are speaking from a very low level, mental level, and he is standing at a very high level, you can't reach him. For that, tadabbur of Quran. And this is the challenge, Humanity is in search of a just social order, running to and fro, from left to right and right to left, from ifrat to tafrit and from tafrit to ifrat, from monarchy and feudalism to democracy, but that democracy took the form of capitalism. From that capitalism to now it became the dictatorship of a party, running in search of freedom and equality, fair place, running from this side to that side, from that side to this side. And we are the custodians. But we are ignorant. We are selling ourselves at very cheap rates. I know this Silicon Valley, what amount of Muslim intelligence has accumulated over here, selling itself at very cheap rates. And then they take everything back from you through mortgage, through this and through that. And you are left from head to mouth. You feel you have a very big house, you have a very big car. That megalomania only, that is given to you and nothing else. You end up having nothing. And the eyes will open only when you will be old. Anyhow, this intelligence of the Ummah, if it takes upon itself the deep understanding, drinking deep from the fountain of wisdom and philosophy and guidance of Quran in all the fields of social sciences. For that, tadabbur is required. But for that, some intelligent people, intelligent youth, intelligent young people have to devote all of their lives. There's a saying of Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu. I pondered over Surah Al-Baqarah for 8 long years. Imagine. Had he to learn Arabic grammar? Who is he? Son of Umar radiyallahu anhu, Abdullah. Arabic was his language. Was he to know The Asbabul Nuzul, he was a part of that environment in which the Quran was being revealed. He took 8 years. This tadabbur of Quran is endless. No Razi could say, I have learnt everything. At many places, if you read him, he appears to be standing astonished. Mutahayyirun. اعلم أن هذا المقام مقام غامض مهيب عميق. These are the words he uses when he discusses the ayah of Surah Al-Hadid. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم. اعلم أن هذا المقام مقام عميق غامض مهيب. You can't say. So that is the 3rd chapter. Believe in Quran as you ought to believe in it. Read it as you ought to read it. Understand it as you ought to understand it. Now all these 3 things should be directed towards action and practice. If it becomes only an academic exercise, you are again gone, lost. Now you have to act accordingly. This is the guidance. You have to accept its guidance. Not only pray to Allah, وَجْعَلْهُ لِي إِمَامًا وَنُورًا وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً. You accept it as your imam. You make a firm resolve that I shall follow it. Whatever it says. Whatever it says, I'll do. From whatever it forbids, I'll stay back. If that is not the resolve, if you don't act what it requires you to do, then again zero. There's the hadith of the Prophet. مَا آمَنَ بِالْقُرْآنِ مَنْ اسْتَحَلَّ مَحَارِمَهُ. A person who has declared for himself permissible anything which has been declared by Quran as haram, he doesn't have any iman on Quran. مَا آمَنَ بِالْقُرْآنِ مَنْ اسْتَحَلَّ مَحَارِمَهُ. And there's a very good saying, perhaps of Imam Ghazali, if I'm not mistaken. He quotes some knowledgeable person saying, there are some people who when they read Quran and recite Quran, get la'nah. Curses. Quran says, Wallahu la yuhibbu zalimeen, he is zalim. Wallahu la yuhibbu al-kazibeen, and he is kazib. Quran is cursing him or not? Quran says, if you don't give up this business of riba, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. So now, listen, the ultimatum to you from Allah and His Messenger. So you are addressee of that ultimatum of Allah. And we think we are reading Quran and getting reward. The same ayah we are reciting, and we think we should get reward. I'm reciting Quran. Quran is cursing you. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَ تَقُولُونَ مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ كَبُرَ مَقْتًا عِندَ اللَّهِ أَن تَقُولُوا مَا لَا تَفْعَلُونَ. You are getting the curses from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by reading Quran. Unless you make a firm resolve to practice it, to follow it, to act upon its commands and instructions, to do whatever it declares obligatory, to stay away and back from whatever it forbids. Now here again I want to introduce you to 2 basic terms of Quran. Hukum bil Quran. Decide according to Quran. This decision can be absolutely personal also. You have to take some decision. There are two ways. You can go this way, you can go that way. You have to make a decision. This decision should be bil Quran. Or you have to settle some matter between two persons, two parties. You have to decide and settle according to Quran. You have to run the affairs of the community. You have to do it according to Quran. And if you don't do it, just as I told you the hadith, Ma amana bil Quran man istahalla maharimahu, whosoever has taken for himself as permissible something which has been declared by Quran as forbidden, he doesn't have any iman on Quran. The same you find, repeated thrice in Surah Al-Ma'idah. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Who is the kafir? Well, I am Abdul Rahman, I am not a kafir. But Quran says you are kafir. You are not deciding matters according to Quran. You never care about Quran, what it says to you. Quran is giving the fatwa, not myself. Don't be angry with me. Man lam yahkum bima anzalallah fa ulaika humul kafirun. As Iqbal says, बुतों से तुझको उम्मीदें, खुदा से नौमीदी, मुझे बता तो सही और काफरी क्या है? It is kufr. You don't have any hope from Allah. All your hopes are pinned on people. What is kufr then? बुतों से तुझको उम्मीदें, खुदा से नौमीदी, मुझे बता तो सही और काफरी क्या है? Then ulaika humuz zalimun, and zulm here is for mushrik. Inna shirka la zulmun azim. Whosoever is not deciding the matter according to divine law, he is deciding according to some other law. So he is his Lord along with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is shirk. Tawheed would be inil hukmu illa lillah. La yushriku fi hukmihi ahada. Lam yakun lahu sharikun fil mulk. He has no partner, no equal. Sovereignty for him and him alone. He is the only lawgiver. You are deciding matter not according to the law given by Allah. You are deciding it by any law given by anybody else. Then he is your Lord along with Allah, and this is shirk. فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. They are the rebels. They are in revolt against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. مَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. And here lies the answer to the question, why is the Ummah of Muhammad humiliated in this world? Why are we having the worst humiliation? Although we are more than 1 billion, every 5th human being is a Muslim. But no respect. No respect in the Committee of Nations. No say in the international affairs. The G7 or G8 or G15. Now, in Security Council, India will be seated. Where is the Muslim Ummah? Why? Antumul alana in kuntum mu'mineen. You would have been the supreme had you been the believers. You are not the believers. You profess to believe, you are only having a racial creed, nothing else, no iman. Illa mashallah. There might be exceptions, individuals, but exceptions go to prove the rule. The rule is the present Muslim ummah, by and large, is not mu'min, it is kafir, it is zalim, it is fasiq. Collectively, individually, they might be Muslim. I don't declare you are a kafir. As individuals, they are Muslims, but as community, as states, as nations, looking to their political, socio-economic systems, they are kuffar. They are mushrikeen. They are fusaq. So this is hukm bil Quran. One full section, section number 7 of Surah Al-Ma'idah is devoted to this hukm. وَأَنِحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. And now, O Muhammad, we sent down Torah, fiha hudan wa nur. It was for the followers of Moses to decide their matters according to Torah. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Then we sent down Injil, fihi hudan wa nur. In that also there was guidance as well as light. And it was for the people who believed in Injil to decide their matters according to what was given to them. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And now we have sent down this Quran to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alaykum bima anzalallahu ilayk. Now you decide matters according to this. The second term regarding this fourth chapter, the fourth duty that each one of us has to fulfill, proportionate to his position, his level of understanding, his capabilities. But please, there is a word of caution. Most of us deceive themselves by saying that we don't have that intelligence and that capacity and capability to absolve themselves from the duties regarding Deen and Quran. When we look to them, they are very prosperous, very successful in their professions, very successful in business, flourishing, prospering. Is it without the capabilities, without the intelligence, without hard work? So Allah knows you through and through. يُخَادِعُونَ اللَّهَ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَمَا يَخْدَعُونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُم. They are trying to deceive Allah and the believers, but they are not deceiving anybody except themselves. So now the second term regarding this fourth duty, iqamatul kitab, to establish the book. We find in Surah Ma'idah Allah addressing the former Muslim Ummah, the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لَسْتُمْ عَلَى شَيْءٍ حَتَّى تُقِيمُوا التَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكُم مِّن رَّبِّكُمْ. O people of book, you have no position, you have no ground under your feet. You have no face to talk to us, to pray to us, unless you establish Torah and Injil and what had been sent down to you. Now the divine law doesn't change from person to person or from nation to nation or from ummah to ummah. This law is the same. So you can read here, Ya al Quran, lastum ala shay'in hatta tuqimul Quran. Oh people of Quran, oh people who believe in Quran, the Al-Kitab, the Al-Furqan, the Al-Nur, the Al-Huda. You believe in it? You don't have any face to talk to us, to pray to us. Your prayers will be thrown back into your faces unless you establish Quran. And show me even 1 square mile of land over this earth where whole of Quran is implemented. Lastu ala shay. That is why the Arabs routed in 1967. The Pakistani army routed, mauled in 1971. Two worst defeats. Egypt and Jordan and Syria. Each one lost territories. Israel could grab Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the Golan Heights from Syria, the West Bank, the whole of West Bank from Jordan. Why didn't Allah help us? In tansurullah yansurkum. If you help Allah, Allah will help you. You make friends with the enemies of Allah and you want the help from Allah. How come? You don't establish his book. Ya ahl al-Quran, lastum ala shay'in hatta tuqimu al-Quran. Quran has given you a law, a criminal law, a civil law, a law of inheritance, full family laws, the law of jurisprudence, the law of witnesses, every law, whole system of economy, whole system of politics, whole social system, a full concept of the social values which must be promoted, a full concept of social evils which must be eradicated. Everything he has given you. Show me 1 square mile on this earth. Millions and millions of square miles under the feet of the Muslim Ummah. Where is that Quran implemented, enforced, and established in totality? Yes, there are prayers going on in the mosques, yes. Everywhere. But Quran says, أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضٍ. So do you believe in part of our book and our law and reject the other part? فَمَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ يَفْعَلُ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا خِزْيٌ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. There is no punishment for those who take to this attitude. Business according to the business rules of the time, the economics of the day, the banking system, the stocks, the gambling going on, everything. Well, we have to do the business. Interest. But we shall pray, we shall build mosques, and we hope to have a credit. فَمَا جَزَاءُ مَنْ يَفْعَلُ ذَلِكَ مِنْكُمْ إِلَّا خِزْيٌ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. There is no punishment for those who take to this attitude, except that they should be punished, humiliated in this life of this world. وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. And on the day of judgment, they will be thrown in the worst punishment. أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. أَشَدُّ. أَفْعَلُ التَّفْضِيلِ. The superlative from Shadid. وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ يُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ أَشَدِّ الْعَذَابِ. So, Iqamatul Quran. Or for that matter, you can call it Iqamatul Deen. شَرَعَ لَكُم مِّنَ الدِّينِ مَا وَصَّىٰ بِهِ نُوحًا وَالَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ وَمَا وَصَّيْنَا بِهِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَمُوسَىٰ وَعِيسَىٰ أَنْ أَقِيمُوا الدِّينَ وَلَا تَتَفَرَّقُوا فِيهِ. Iqamatul Quran, Iqamatul Deen. Call the rose by any name, it will smell as sweet. In the same Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah says, وَلَوْ أَنَّ أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ أَقَامُوا التَّوْرَاةَ وَالْإِنْجِيلَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْهِم مِّن رَّبِّهِمْ لَأَكَلُوا مِنْ فَوْقِهِمْ وَمِنْ تَحْتِ أَرْجُلِهِمْ. Had these people of the book established Torah and Injil, and whatever was sent down to them from their Lord, they would have eaten from over their heads also and from under their feet also. The barakatu samai wal ard, blessings of Allah from the heavens as well as from the earth. They would have had it. But because they didn't do it, they were punished. ضُرِبَتْ عَلَيْهِمُ الذِّلَّةُ وَالْمَسْكَنَةُ وَبَاءُوا بِغَضَبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ. And please note it. Unless this ummah can establish full Quran, full deen, over at least one but sizable country of this world, so as to be able to invite people at large, humanity at large, that come and see, this is the deen of Allah. These are the blessings of the book of Allah. These are the blessings of the guidance of Allah. This is the political system of Islam. Come and see. The freedom, the equality, the fraternity, the akhuwah, the hurriya. Come and see. See with your own eyes for your own self. Unless at least one sizable country of the world can show to the people, to the humanity at large, a model of Islam, the divine punishment will deepen and deepen and worsen and worsen. Now let me come to the last, because time is passing very fast. Tabligh and Tabyin. This is the duty of every Muslim, to convey this message of Allah to others. Collectively, this is the duty of the whole ummah, to convey this message to each and every human being on the surface of the earth. And if this ummah is failing in its duty, it is taking upon itself the burden of the wrongdoings of the kuffar also. They can prosecute us on the day of judgment. Oh Allah, they had your guidance with them. They never conveyed it to us. How can we be held accountable? They should be punished. They should get double punishment. And surely we will deserve it. Please understand it. Just, visualize those moments. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam giving finishing touches to his last sermon, giving his last advice, the departing sermon, and in the end asking a question. Ala hal ballaghtu? Have I conveyed to you? And the whole congregation replying in one voice, Inna nashhadu annaka qad ballaghta wa addaita wa nasahta. According to another riwayah, there are 4 words. Inna nashhadu annaka qad ballaghta ar-risalata wa addaita al-amanata wa nasahta al-ummata wa kashafta al-ghummata. We testify to it. You have done your job. You have conveyed the message of Allah. He asked this question thrice and got the answer thrice. Looking to the right, asking the question, getting the answer. Looking to the front, repeating the same. Looking to left, repeating the same. Then he raised his finger to the heaven, pointing to the heaven and then to the people, thrice. Allahumma shahad, Allahumma shahad, Allahumma shahad. Oh Allah, be a witness to it. They are accepting, I have conveyed to them your message. This was the sigh of relief on the part of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A very heavy burden of duty had come on his shoulders. Inna sanulqi alayka qawlan thaqila. 23 years of hardest labor. During those 23 or 3 years of Shayb Bani Hashim, the day of Taif, the day of Uhud, the 3 days and nights of the cave of Thawr. Remember the journey of Tabuk, the battle of Ahzab, just and all this. Today, my shoulders have been relieved of that burden. Sigh of relief. Allahumma shad, Allahumma shad, Allahumma shad. Why? This is very important to understand. And I always give a very simple example for that. If you send a message to a friend of yours or a relative of yours through a messenger, please do this work till tomorrow evening, otherwise I will have to sustain big loss. That work is not done. You have to sustain a big loss. Now you are mad with anger. And you go to the relative or friend of yours. Brother, I had sent you that message. Now who is responsible? You didn't do the work. Who is responsible for my loss? If he says, brother, your message was not conveyed to me. Can you say anything more now? Now your anger will be towards the messenger. I gave this responsibility to you to convey this message and you didn't do it. You are responsible for the loss. Take these 3 persons. The person who is sending the messenger and the person to whom he had to deliver the message. If the message is delivered, this messenger is free, absolved of his responsibility. Responsibility on the person to whom the message has been delivered. If it is not delivered, then the responsibility is on the shoulder of the messenger. That is why Quran says in the beginning of Surah Al-A'raf, فَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الَّذِينَ أُرْسِلَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And we shall ask those also whom we sent, to whom we sent our messengers, and we shall ask the messengers also. Did you convey? Oh Allah, I conveyed. They are responsible. And if supposedly it was to the contrary, then the messenger was to be held responsible. That is why he asked these questions. Ala hal ballagtu, ala hal ballagtu, ala hal ballagtu, inna nashhadu annaka qad ballagta ar-risalata wa addayta al-amanata wa nasahta al-ummata wa kashafta al-ghummata. Allahumma shahad, Allahumma shahad, Allahumma shahad. And now the last verse, which I mentioned before also. فَلْيُبَلِّغِ الشَّاهِدُ الْغَائِبَ. My work is not complete up till now. I was not sent for you only. I was sent for the whole of humanity. It's not the end, it's the beginning. But now that burden has been transferred from my shoulders to yours. Now it is the duty of everyone who is present here to convey it to those who are not present here. And these last words, they include the people, humanity at large, which was present at the time of Muhammad, and all human beings to come in this world till the end of this world. This is all period of the messengerhood of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the last day. Now, who will be held responsible if that message is not conveyed? We can make hijrah, we can leave our hearts and homes, our families, our parents for the sake of gaining wealth, good careers, good living. We can't do anything for conveying the message. And then we claim that we shall have the Shafa'a of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Whom are we deceiving? Nobody is ready. Nobody is ready. Even people who understand. They have understood several times. They can't move. Zami Jumbat na Jumbat Gul Muhammad. Tied up. Fixed up. Professions, careers, families. These responsibilities, those responsibilities. And what about the responsibilities as the ummati of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Well, somebody else will do it, not me. But the claim of Shafa of Muhammad, I also hope. So this is tabligh. Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik. O messenger, convey everything that has been revealed to you. Just remember, even when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at least apparently, is criticizing Muhammad, taking him to task. Why did you do this? That also is to be conveyed. Don't we read in the Quran? Ya ayyuhan nabi lima tuharrimu ma ahallallahu laka tabtaghi mardatak. O Prophet, why do you declare haram for yourself what your Lord has declared permissible only to gain the pleasure of your wives? What is it? A very pleasant thing to say and to hear and to listen. But you have to convey it. Abasa wa tawalla an ja'ahu al-a'ma wa ma yudrika la'allahu yazakka aw yatazakkara fatanfa'u dhikra. Amma man istaghna fa anta lahu tasadda wa amma man ja'aka yas'a wa huwa yakhsha fa anta anhu talaha kalla innaha tazkira. What is it? Praise? But you have to convey. We recite it. Balligh ma unzila ilayk. Even people might dislike it, but you have to convey. You have to say the truth. You have to convey what I have sent down. Not taking into account that people will be displeased or will be angry. Let them be angry. Let any harm come to you. وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّكَ يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ. We very well know that whatever they are saying about you, he has gone crazy, he has become majnoon, he is a shair, he is a kazzab, and all the things you have to listen. And we know that these things are hurting you. وَلَقَدْ نَعْلَمُ أَنَّكَ يَضِيقُ صَدْرُكَ بِمَا يَقُولُونَ. But you have to take it patiently. فَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ وَاهْجُرْهُمْ هَجْرًا جَمِيلًا. Take it patiently. Continue your mission. Ya ayyuhar Rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik wa illam taf'al fama ballaghta risalata. Now this is the collective duty of the risala. This ummah collectively is burdened with that duty of risala, of messengerhood of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, to convey the message. And then last word, tabyin. Not only iblagh and tabligh, but tabyin. Then you have ta'aleem. Yu'allimuhumul kitaba wal hikmah. You can't say that, Brother, I have conveyed it to you. No. You have to teach it. You have to bring it home to them. You have to make them understand it. Repeat and repeat and repeat. Explain and explain and explain. Anzalna ilayka zikra litubayyana linnasi ma nuzila ilayhim. You have to explain it. The book and the teacher, both. Only the book couldn't suffice. Otherwise there was no need of any messenger. لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة. And what is بينة? رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة. the book and the teacher. उतर कर हिरा से सुए कौम आया और एक नुस्खे कीमिया साथ लाया. By teaching of this book, Yatlu alayhim ayatihi, I quoted the ayat in my Jummah sermon. Yatlu alayhim ayatihi wa yuzakkihim wa yuallimuhumul kitaba wal hikmah. Thrice. This ta'aleem and tabyeen. And this is the duty of the ummah. To do it at every level, at the level of the common masses, at the level of the educated people, at the level of the intellectual elite of this society, at the level of the intellectual giants of this society. And for that you have to prepare yourselves. The more intelligent people should devote themselves to have a deeper and deeper and deeper understanding, so that they can talk to the intellectual giants of this today. So these are the 5 duties for which each one of us would be accountable on the Day of Judgment. Al-Iman wa Ta'zeem, number 1. At-Tilawah wa Tartil, number 2. At-Tazakkur wa Tadabbur, number 3. Hukum bi Iqamatul Quran, number 4. Tabligh of Quran and Ta'leem and Tabyeen of Quran. Should take a firm resolve. I am specially addressing now the youth. They should make it a point. And it's from Sahih of Bukhari, rahimahullah. خَيْرُكُمْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. There is no better career, no computer science or no other career, management and this and that, running after those things. Either Muhammad is telling a lie, or we are misguided missiles. Muhammad is saying the truth. خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. This is the highest career. Devote yourself. And if these duties are not fulfilled by us, let me quote the ayah of Surah Al-Jumu'ah. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ حُمِّلُوا التَّوْرَاةَ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهَا كَمَثَلِ الْحِمَارِ يَحْمِلُ أَسْفَارًا. The likeliness of those who were given Torah, but they didn't fulfill the responsibilities of Torah. They are like donkeys carrying a load of books. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ حُمِّلُوا الْقُرْآنَ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهُ. Insert the word here. مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ حُمِّلُوا التَّوْرَاةَ ثُمَّ لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهَا كَمَثَلِ الْحِمَارِ يَحْمِلُ أَسْفَارًا. بِئْسَ مَثَلُ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. Very bad is the example of those who have rejected and belied the ayat of Allah. If you are not fulfilling your duties towards Quran, it is as if you are saying, I don't believe in Quran, it's not the word of Allah. This is takzeeb bil amal. Iman bil qawl. I believe in Quran, it is the word of Allah. But takzeeb bil amal, my practice, my attitude is proving that I don't believe in it. May Allah save us all from that. Allahumma Rabbana آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم ربنا آنس وحشتنا في قبورنا وارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم اجعله لنا إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وآناء النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين.